We have drawn our bishops from different regions. We have Bishop Joseph Moshai from Nakuru, Bishop Kanu from Mombasa, Bishop Mutisia from Machakos, Bishop Ruto from Eldoret, Masaba from Beere, Tim Wambunya from Butere, and Professor Kodia, Bishop of Bondo. We have Bishop Kewasis from Kitale, and Bishop Owero from Nairobi, and myself, the ACK Bishop. And we have just called each other to get updates and information from different parts of the country before we can jointly release this press. So thank you very much. So are you ready to begin? Address to the state of the nation, this date, August 15, 2017. We have been gathering here as a part of the House of Bishops representing different regions, and we had the opportunity to reflect on this verse. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 10. I appeal to you, brothers and sisters, in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, that all of you agree with one another in what you say, and that there be no divisions among you, but that you be perfectly united in mind and thought. Dear Kenyans, this statement is a follow-up to our pastoral letter dated 30th July 2017. We called upon Kenyans then to exercise their constitutional right and obligation to vote for their leaders peacefully. We are happy that eligible Kenyans went out in large numbers. This is a confirmation of the strong patriotism ingrained within us, manifesting our unity as patriotic, peace-loving citizens of Kenya. As a nation, we need to think collectively as one people and to remain united as we take our strategic position on the African continent. Our evolving democracy is currently under attack, and we have to do everything possible to defend it. Our national anthem is a prayer addressed to God of all creation. It calls us to unity of purpose in carrying out our national goals and aspirations. May God strengthen us individually and collectively, while we actively participate locally, nationally, and regionally. We must venture as a united nation. Judicial guidance. Recognizing the concerns and grievances raised by candidates for various elective posts, the judiciary provide guidance on all matters pertaining to the rule of law. We urge all leaders to refer any of their concerns to the relevant judicial authorities in order to ensure orderly and sober resolution of any disputes pertaining to leadership and governance at both local and national levels. The post-election situation and violence in different parts of the country. We note with a lot of concern that there has been incidences of violence in different parts of the country since the declaration of results on the 11th of August 2017. The Kenyan National Human Rights Commission, a government-mandated body, revealed that by the 13th of August, there had been recorded death, while the Kenya Red Cross Society and the Medicines Sans Frontiers also recorded injuries in Mathare, Kaungware, Kibra, Kisumu, Migori, Siaya, and Homa Bay. As of today, there is tension in the country, and even though citizens are slowly returning to work, normalcy in some of the above-mentioned areas has not yet been fully restored. As a church, we are concerned that the security forces used excessive force, including breaking into people's homes. We are saddened by the recent killings of Mura Nyarangi, an 8-year-old girl who was playing in the balcony of their house in Mathare. We send our condolences to the families of all those who have lost their loved ones in recent violence. The use of excessive force on protesters is unacceptable given the constitutional right of every Kenyan to protest peacefully. We therefore urge the government of Kenya to lead the process of healing the nation by promoting national cohesion and inclusivity rather than violence so far witnessed. The agenda of post-election audit, review and reforms. As a country, we must take seriously the audit, review and reforms needed to take the country forward. This is the only way that Kenyan can normalize elections so that elections times does not become a season of killings, tension, anxiety, and near shutdown of the economy. It must be remembered that 2013 post-election audit, review and reform did not extend beyond IEBC itself. So only IEBC conducted an audit while excluding other stakeholders, including political parties. This must never be allowed. We call upon a creation of an independent body to carry out these audits. We are concerned with the recent reports that 2 national NGOs have been deregistered. These are the Kenya Human Rights Commission and AFRICOM. We condemn the registration of these civil society watchdogs and urge the government to review these decisions, or rather the NGO board. Inclusivity, cohesion, and integration of Kenya. We advocate for the inclusivity and cohesion of all Kenyans as one nation across the multi-identities of race, ethnicity, age, gender, religion, profession, trade, or political leaning. On the basis of this understanding, we continue to engage other stakeholders in the quest for the national cohesion that all leaders ought to demonstrate and exemplify. National healing and reconciliation. We therefore urge all Kenyans to start a process of healing, reconciling between each other, and integration of our society in all spheres of life. We commit ourselves to facilitate post-election reconciliation, integration, and cohesion, alongside others with this goal as priority. As we embark on this, we notice Kenya has an estimated youth population of 12.5 who need urgent attention in terms of employment and other programs both in the short term and long term. Peaceful coexistence. We urge Kenyans to embrace the national values as stipulated in the national anthem. These are justice, peace, national unity, liberty, economic prosperity for ourselves and our descendants. We must all appreciate, defend, cherish our motherland, the Republic of Kenya. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Signed this date. On behalf of the Anglican Church, by the ACK Bishop. Thank you. I don't know whether there is any burning question, but we thought, as continuing to reflect on the state of the nation, that as a church, we need to provide leadership and guidance. And all what we are saying is, can we, as we move on, but engage on aspects that can lead this nation to grow as a cohesive and one united nation by addressing issues that has been bringing us into turmoil after every 5 years. So we need to move forward to say how can we not go back to where Kenya has been going every 5 years.
Any questions?
Yes.
Okay, you talked about settling the issues of election disputes in courts, but here's a case whereby the NASA leader said that going to court is not an option. Have you had an opportunity to talk to him? And if so, do you think his claims of a rigged outcome of the elections are valid? Then two, talking about the deregistration of NGOs. The other day, the MP elect for Garissa Township, Eden Duale, said that their next target is now the Auditor General and the Chairman of the National Lands Commission. As a country, where are we headed in terms of the comments being churned out from our leaders?
I think to answer the first question, yes, we have been trying to reach out to the NASA team, and we reached them on Friday just before the elections were announced, and they expressed to us that they don't want to go to court, but we are still insisting any other avenue other than using the court process is not going to solve the problems we have in Kenya. As to whether we believe what they are claiming is true or false, we as a church doesn't have any basis to say it is true or false because we don't have the evidence. And that's why we are asking them, can you go to court so that the court can order an investigation, and based on the investigation, Kenyans will know whether there was any cheating or no cheating. And that's why we are saying, let them explore that avenue. It is only the court that can order an investigation into what has happened. And if we take that route, then we shall have peace in Kenya. We are also saying the timing, maybe the NGO board might have a reason of deregistering these civil society groups. But we are saying the timing is not right, because when we hear things happening very fast, in a time like this is a time that we need some soberness so that we can be able to approach peace that we are so much desiring in this country. As to the comments and sentiments that are coming from leaders targeting certain individuals or offices, we are saying again the timing is not the best. So can we all restrain as leaders in pointing accusing fingers, especially when you are pointing an accusing finger on somebody probably based on where they come from in this country, because this will not help us move the nation forward. And that's why we are saying as a church, we are for the citizens of this country, wherever they come from, whatever tribe or religion or race or language they speak, the church is here for them. Yes.
If I may ask a question, how has this affected the church?
The church is drastically affected. As you know, we serve a church that covers every corner of this country. So any part of the country or the communities that are crying, church members are crying. So when one of us is affected, whether in Kisumu or in Migori or in Mathare or wherever, the church feels for those people, they are Kenyans. But attendance of the church in the last 2 Sundays, you can see it has gone down, the way businesses are affected, and the effects of the church can be more even deep-rooted, because when we begin to have harbored ill feelings and hatred within the membership of the church, then it is hard to achieve the love that we are preaching for people to love one another. So we have a big responsibility now to begin again to tell people to love one another. Actually, on Sunday in the cathedral, I was praying for individuals whom we have called to come in front who need prayers because of what they are going through. And one lady said, can you help me to pray again, because I don't know how to pray again, and I can't even pray. So that's how the church is affected.
You have talked about a creation of an independent body to carry out an audit. Do you mean that we have to carry out an audit of the whole tallying system by IBC? And how soon should that be done? Bear in mind that we are still recovering from this information.
Let's put these things separate. We are not calling for an audit of the tallying or even the process of voting of 2017. We are saying we are calling for an audit of the entire process, from registration, from managing the register, how we do procurement for the ballot papers, because you can imagine how it was being done in a rush. And we are saying this audit can inform the reforms that IEBC need to undertake in future to avoid a crisis of rushing things the last minute, which will create turmoil in the country. So we are not saying an audit of the tallying of the votes. We are not saying that should be an investigation by the court. if somebody go to court. But what we are saying is an audit of how did IBC prepare itself, how did it perform, and that's what we are saying. If we do that early enough, we don't wait until 2021 for us to begin to rush in a rush hour. Why don't we learn from the process of how we conducted the elections 2017 so that we begin to put in mechanisms before 2022, which will help us avoid the kind of situation we have been engaged in.
What is your specific message to one, Mr. Odinga, and secondly, Mr. Kenyatta? Then secondly, can you confirm to us that the church is united as we deal with this problem?
Let me begin with the church. We still feel the church is united. We come from different backgrounds and the different locations and localities. You have seen our bishops have come from all over the country. We have bishops from Nyanza, we have bishops from Western Kenya, we have bishops from Ukambani, from the coast, and from Central Kenya. We are all present here. This is just a representation of bishops of those regions. So as the Anglican Church, we feel we are united. We may not know what other denominations are going through, but through the Interreligious Council and the National Council of Churches of Kenya, the Evangelical Alliance, we have been speaking the last few days together as one body and one team. So we feel the church is moving together, and the church is committed to bring healing in this country together. I was asked this message on Sunday, what will be my message to the President, what will be my message to Raila Odinga. And I said, and I want to repeat, to the President, Kenyans have elected him, and he is the President of Kenya, and is going to lead us for the next 5 years. So our message to him is to continue to bring this country together, to continue to unite this country together, and to ensure that the development agenda he has and he has promised is going to be felt in every part of this country, so that we shall not be experiencing regions that will feel excluded. So we are asking him to continue thinking about this this country as one united Kenya. Even in the formation of the government, we want to see a face of the nation in the appointment of parastatal, of the cabinet, of the permanent secretaries and the ambassadors that reflect the face of Kenya, so that Kenyans feel the government belongs to them wherever they are. As he said in his acceptance speech, that is going to serve all Kenyans. Our message to Raila Odinga is for him not to continue to hold the country at ransom by not being clear what he wants to do. Our urge is for him to use the only available mechanism, and that is the courts, so that whatever grievances he has, we are not telling him not to express his grievances, but let him express his grievances through the courts, and let the courts, if they so wish, or determine whatever he will ask, now order an investigation, and Kenyans will know the truth by that investigation. And that we are saying that should be the way we all need to go. But I think we don't want to see a scenario like what is beginning to emerge, where you see one community like being the one now crying out or feel the one being targeted, because we want to see Kenya as one Kenya, but not as communities. So all what we are saying is let the political leaders not galvanize people because alongside tribal lines, or those who are in power profile certain regions and certain tribes and become the target. That's not what we want. We want a leadership that deals with all of us equally, because we are equally Kenyans.
If I may ask, as a church, because there is the aftermath, do you have any support, the aftermath, because we have some of the Kenyans who've gone through this? As a church, do you have any support in place in case of people who've gone through this trauma? Do you have any support in place?
Actually, that's what we are now gathering ourselves. You know, these things come when people are not really prepared for. So the church is going the same shock as Kenyans are going through when things begin to happen. But we have our structures in our local parishes, and I am the Bishop of Kibera because my diocese falls upon Kibera, and I'm gathering my clergy and my teams to continue to offer pastoral care Bishop here in Nairobi has his teams in Mathare, and they have already begun to visit families that has been affected, like the